Yes. Mm. Ay, ay, ay. Mm.
Been a rookie quarterback. I like going big. Hey, thanks, Quest. Not really what I meant, but I'll take it. This size will do. A little Quest birthday cake cookie with their big athlete-worthy nutrition. Now I'm moving up the ranks in the department, working just as hard as my football days. Meeting right too, but you don't have to be an athlete or a fireman to get something out of Quest. It's way bigger than the cookie. It's Quest. Aren't more than just people existing at the stops that they stop at, and then you can just move along. You never have to see that character again. It's just easy. It's very easy. If I ever went to Kid 4 did it, and I think we all know how that movie turned out. Now, in some ways, this movie is very, very slightly more enjoyable than the first, simply because there are actually things happening. Because it is a road trip vacation, you get to actually look at something new instead of the ugly town and the ugly, uncreative mansion. You get to look at ugly Niagara Falls, ugly Grand Canyon, and ugly forests, and ugly highways. Oh, isn't that fantastic? Let's dive into the movie 6 Feet Under Where It Belongs. Dead. It belongs dead. We start off with an experiment and some actual color. Wow, in both of these movies, I didn't think they were capable of producing color. But don't get your hopes up, because it literally just lasts 10 seconds, and then there's never a colorful shot again that looks even slightly appealing to the eyes in this movie. We see Wednesday Addams at a science fair, and the rest of the Addams come to watch. Here, there's all the kids, the incredibly ugly kids. Literally, what are these designs? What are they? What are these back alley bootleg designs? Wednesday then shows off a project where she puts squid DNA or something in Uncle Fester. That'll be very important for gags throughout the movie, where he acts like a squid. It's great stuff. At this science fair, no one actually went. It seemed they all just get participation trophies, and this makes Wednesday mad. Well, you know what, movie? You didn't win either. You just participated. You just got a participation trophy. So shut up. Shut up, dude. At the winning ceremony, there's also this hologram of this dude who is obviously going to be the main villain in the movie. We also see how Gomez feels distant from Wednesday and wonder why they feel so distant from each other. And so he suggests that they all go on a vacation road trip. Oh my god. But before they head out, this loser comes to tell Gomez that Wednesday might actually not be their kid. She might have been swapped at birth. That's the main drama of the movie. That is big drama, dude. Of course she'll find out when they stop keeping it from her, yada yada yada. Every road trip movie has something that someone has to find out near the end that makes them mad at the person running the road trip. It's such a predictable formula, and there's 90 freaking different types. Every single road trip movie has this. But why can't the Addams Family be a little more creative? A dark, gothic, odd family really has to have the same-ish family struggles as a white bread family road trip movie. Y'all couldn't do anything cooler. It couldn't be a little bit more creative with the fact that they are the Addams Family. But they start their road trip with that one loser guy chasing after them to get Wednesday. I wonder who they're trying to get her for. Wow. The first stop they have is at Niagara Falls. And then there's a line that honestly made me just want to stop watching the movie and scrap this video. Just watch this.
I know how much you wanted to see what girls your age were burned at the stake. What did you call them again? Squad goals.
At Niagara Falls, classic antics ensue where they fall into the falls. Meanwhile, we cut to the grandma throwing a party and trying to make some money. They cut to this maybe once in the movie, actually. They only cut to it now. This is the only time they cut to the movie for this, because it actually plays into the ending. It's like a B story that isn't a B story. It's a very insanely random placement. It could have been a little earlier in the movie, but it kind of just happened in the middle of the movie. But I'll tell you why it exists. It exists for the ending dance party, the ending sequence to fill the void of emptiness of an actual ending. There's actually quite the number of dance sequences in this movie, and that is torture. There's nothing that a terrible movie likes to do more to fill the time and keep children's attention more than insanely random dance sequences. Norm of the North has them. Norm of the North. It's just so artificial and so painful whenever there's a dance sequence. Like right now with the kid at Niagara Falls that dances to a song that you've heard a billion times in every single movie, and you wish you honestly could never hear again. They didn't stop somewhere to make a campfire, tell stories during this. Wednesday then starts to suspect something and overhears how she might have gotten switched at birth. Oh no, she's finding out. Then they go to Miami. Hey, yo, I live there. Go away. Stay out of my town. Soon the family arrives at a hotel and there's a pageant going on. We also see what seems like a reskin of the villain from the first movie. Instead of her being blonde, she has brown hair. Very creative character designs, guys. You have a wide selection of characters that are all distinct. After this pageant, they get to the Grand Canyon, where Wednesday finally confirms the birth stuff and talks to Big Head Villain Guy on the phone, leading her to run away. Oh man, so sad. You know, throughout this movie, I really feel like this is a strong, odd family. I really feel like it. It's not like both of these movies just act like these characters are close and great and a loving family because them having family in the name. Just because this is a very old cast of characters that have been together close and whatnot does not automatically exempt these movies from trying to further it in any way or actually make an effort to establish it. Them just existing as families in the past does not give this any emotional depth whatsoever. And having the entire sequel be about Wednesday feeling distant from all of her family just feels like, oh, okay.
Dental insurance isn't designed to protect you in case of an emergency. Instead, dental insurance has waiting periods that delay paying for needed procedures and annual maximums that stop paying for bigger needs so that you are left paying for anything over that amount. There is a better way. Click to find out.
Work party or watch party? Happy hour or counting down to 2023? Choosing a sober ride means you can enjoy more of what you love. Whether you are tipsy, buzzed, or feeling great, make the right call. Never drive impaired. Be part of the movement. Help us end traffic deaths.
Because it's not like they ever all seemed close to begin with. But don't worry, guys, don't worry. We get this very classic road trip sequence of stopping at a bar, leading to a very long dance sequence. Of course, another dance sequence, let's go! Also, there's a very weird social distance joke about hugging.
I accept your offer, but if you don't mind, I will respectfully decline. I've been social distancing since birth.
Like, I guess it's trying to be meta about the pandemic, but wow, what a way to instantly date your movie with a very, very odd joke. She's Wednesday Addams. She can say anything funnier, drier, or darker about touching someone and hugging them, and that's the joke that you guys put? That's the joke. Really. Like, haha, the current audience is watching it, maybe in theaters. Christ, man. Jesus Christ. Wednesday then arrives at Big Head Villain Guy's facility, and he offers her, like, I don't know, science project stuff. I don't really care. The rest of the Addams also arrive, and oh, shocker, Big Head captures them because he likes testing on people or whatever. Yep, yeah, he has some very, very unclear motive for testing on DNA and swapping with animals. It's actually just very random. Why? What's his motive? It doesn't matter, because he's just a villain guy. He just wants to do it. Whatever. He needs to have something weird and randomly bad, even though it actually is just random at the end of the movie, and never played into anything interesting throughout the beginning of the movie. Nope, it's the last 48 minutes of the movie, and there's no, like, lead up to this from the first 40 minutes. But this all leads with a mutated monster battle, yippee, and then Uncle Fester, Squid Kaiju, ugly fuck, wow, he wins. So cool. And then it turns out that Wednesday is actually their daughter, and they go home, and there's an incredible dance sequence that I talked about earlier, full of honestly epileptic attack editing. Like, geez, where's the warning for this? What is going on? And that's the Addams Family too. Addams Family poo. This movie is a disconnected, lazy sequel. It's a disconnected, lazy sequel to a movie that is already so disconnected and lazy. It did not learn anything from the beginning and did not even attempt to do any better. The fact that this is the Addams Family does not matter. It doesn't matter. Not for jokes, dynamics, or anything. It simply just doesn't matter. The entire movie is separated between the road trip and the weird monster ending. The main villain guy is barely even in the movie. It's just all bad. It's just a waste of money and effort and time where it feels like absolutely no one cared. No one cared to make a single aspect.
Step forward to change a life, to save a life, to stop the hurt, to start the healing. Because when we step forward together, we can change the world.
This video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. I love cereal a lot, but I recently realized how insanely bad for you it can be. But then I found Magic Spoon, which to my surprise has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, 4 net grams of carbs, and only 130 calories in each serving. This blew my mind. I was like, what? This stuff tastes so good and it got no sugar? That's like magic. Magic Spoon, you know? They got great flavors like cocoa, frosted, fruity, and peanut butter. Cocoa is my personal favorite. It tastes like other junk brands, but it's actually nutritious. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and this video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. As you can hear right now, I have an incredible, beautiful... I can't remember the amount of times that I've given up on things. The amount of times I've just stopped trying. The amount of times I've scrapped ideas and just stopped. It's so easy to put myself down and feel like what I'm doing is stupid. Why am I getting passionate about something? Should I just stop? Should I just shut up? Am I being stupid? No. No. I shouldn't shut up. You shut up. You're a stupid loser. I am smart. I love things. I love talking about things and being happy. It's nice. It's fun. But sometimes it's hard to remember that. It's hard to remember how to push past feeling like I should just give up. Just grab everything I'm saying right now and just quietly hide away for months on end. How do I just sit down and like everything's fine and I'm excited again? I don't really know. All I know is me. Balls. Now this is how I get better. In 2009, a very small movie came out, Fighting the Chance of Meatballs, based on the kids' book of the same name. Weirdly enough, the kids' book was more of a horror apocalypse, leading to the townsfolk to be brutally destroyed by the sky food. It was pretty dark, but the animated movie was much more lighthearted. It wasn't a golden movie, and I loved watching it so much as a kid. I remember seeing the Burger King ads, which wow, that's like perfect for a food movie. Wow, what genius! Wow, marketing genius. And the dad would finger the salad and would make a big gross noise. Pure nostalgia. But growing up, I always felt like I loved this movie a lot more than others. Other people definitely loved it, but I feel like it was way more special than people let on. It's that dumb kid movie where food falls from the sky. Look, burger, chicken, Lizzie jokes. Am I gonna make Lizzie jokes in this video? I'm not gonna make those problems, okay? But Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs always felt like a one movie people should take more serious, even for the reasons that they might not. The reasons I love this movie go beyond the movie itself, and it's just something I simply find comforting. There are the great cast starring Anna Faris, Bill Hader, and freaking Bruce Campbell. Oh my god! Along with the directing talents of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who undoubtedly have contributed to the best comedies of the last 2 decades. Especially when they directly direct, like when they're directly directing the movie with directing, it creates a wave of clone properties wanting to follow in the same kind of way. I love Phil and Chris because there's always doubts for what they're making. There's always people seeing the projects they're working on and saying, could that even be good? Could this even be good? Probably not. And then every single time it's almost universally loved. I respect it. I respect taking on projects, having ideas, and doing the things that people reject, that say they're dumb, and then it turns out the people calling it dumb are the dummies. Stupid dummies. Stupid dummies. I bring all this up because Fighting the Chance of Meatballs feels like the first example of that. See, these two may have been working on a lot more before this movie, notably Own High, but this is the first motion picture that they directed together. This is a movie about doubt, about feeling like you can never accomplish anything. It's a movie that begins with the great ironic title cards. Usually movies just list a bunch of people that you don't care about, and this movie just says it's a movie with a lot of people that made it. Whoa, that's adorable. Honestly, all the logo stuff here is adorable. I love when companies are just like actually used creatively in their branding in the slightest way. When we meet the main kid, Flint Lockwood, this dumb science nerd who just wants to show off with his school project, he does his own project, by the way. Okay, now that's just unrealistic. There's no kid that did their own project. Your parents always did it for you, or it just didn't get done. Am I right? That's relatable, right, folks? Up top. But anyways, Flint shows off his spray-on shoes. When he sprayed his foot, he's made fun of the whole class. Because now it's stuck on his feet. He failed. Already, 3 minutes into the movie, he failed. People doubted him. He put my boy down. My boy. My boy. My son. My son. My boy. My boy. My boy. But look, Flint has his methods. He doesn't want to be the person to help him realize he sucks. But next time, why not? So this is what pushes him his entire life to create something great. One big step, one person. We see a great montage of Flint creating inventions that fail horribly, but that's okay because Flint lives in this awful great town called Swallow Falls, which is all sardine themed. I never had a sardine and I never will, but that's our setup for Flint. We meet him in adulthood and he's still a nerd loser, but he's determined still to create that one invention, that one great one, a device that will make food out of water. Genius. A true Elon Musk without the emerald mine or the grinds. We also see how Flint's dad, who has the greatest character dad design in the last 20 years, and nothing has come close to it since. His dad doesn't really support him, and not because he doesn't love him. He just doubts that after this long with failure, will he ever have the success? He worries for him. He worries for his son, his boy. My boy. My boy. So he begs his son to work at his fifth store, and Flint pulls the dead mom card, like, Mom understood me, why don't you? That's brutal. Jeez, man. We meet the mayor and his baby friend Chad, who runs his town with sardine propaganda. Meanwhile, Flint starts scheming. He plans to get his invention up and running during this new propaganda event. Go, Flint, you go, man. We also meet the best cop. ACAB, except Mr. Peacock. He's literally the greatest. This is the best example of this movie's animation being truly the most fluid and energetic. For a 3D CGI animated movie, they literally animate these characters like they're 2D, but the way that they bend and shape their actions, and yet the characters great, moving back and forth very fast. It's very rare that some movies with 3D animation actually have animation frames worth pausing on to see something funny, something really great, honestly. They truly go above and beyond here, and even now, I rarely see expressiveness like this represented in these types of movies. So Flint steals power and gets this thing going. Meanwhile, there's cute little lady there that's looking for a big story. And oh boy, she's about to have that story. Flint's machine goes mental and it shoots into the sky. Oh no, that's not what he wanted. Failure again. It's okay, man. Don't worry. Flint gets trapped in a big hole and everyone's angry with him. But more than angry, his dad is there. He's disappointed. Oh man. Disappointed. So Flint meets reporter girl and she feels like a failure too because she has no story. But then, whoa, boom, burger, bunger meat, sky meat. It's meat in the sky, dude. Everyone is shocked by this. Look at the shock, the hilarious expressive reactiveness. This is when Flint feels like he's actually succeeded at something. He accomplished something. It happened, but his dad doesn't trust it. Even when Flint feels like he finally succeeded, there's still doubt. I mean, of course, rightfully so, because even Flint doubts himself and saying to his dad that this will all be under control and fine. We all doubt ourselves, even when the cutest part about all of this is that when Flint goes to recreate all of this, another very cute montage, there's a moment where he motivates himself with a picture that he drew as a kid after his mom gave her support. It's really cute. Now Flint is loved by everyone. He's bringing success to this island, but we quickly learn that success is going good. It has very clear issues, and Flint just ignores them. He literally just throws his problems away and forgets about them to keep this feeling of success going hard. But food is raining everywhere. The mayor's getting insanely fat like my boy Duke here without the lovable laugh, and the dad, well, happy for his son's success, feels like the son is in over his head. Soon, the cop asks for a favor from Flint, even after showing that he never supported Flint, but Flint helps him out. You know, that's my boy right there. He gives the Mr. T Cop's son an incredible ice cream skyfall extravaganza. Oh man, I mean, kids get hurled like 30 miles away to their doom, but it's fine. It's awesome. Also, Flint just takes ice cream and annihilates a town by running into homes, headshotting everyone, but with ice cream. That's pretty awesome. All of this has Flint feeling like the big cheese, the big meatball, for a good amount of time too, because he creates a massive jello mold to impress the reporter girl because he has a crush on her. Everything's going good for my boy right here. Everything's going good for this man. Flint then meets with his dad at a steak place where the steak falls from the sky and people get pounded with meat. They aren't beating the meat. The meat is beating them. Flint talks about how good he's feeling because of his recent success, but his dad notices that the meat's looking a little big, a little too big, and Flint feels like that he's still not proud of him, proud of what he's doing, when there's clear issues that Flint is still ignoring, even when slapping him directly in the face. Now that's powerful. Flint then sees a very massive I almost said the word. Oh man, I almost said it. Jeez. What have I become? Flint wants to shut down the food, but the big dookish mayor says no. Give in. Create more meat. More big meat. People love the meat. People will love you. But very soon, the issues pile up. Literally, a spaghetti tornado happens, causing death and destruction, and now Flint feels like he's messed up again. This is just another one of his failures. And he literally throws himself in the trash with the other failures. Beautiful. But guess what? Guess who comes? Showing their support. Realizing they should have backed him from the beginning. His dad. He brings that coat to him. The light shines through. And Flint feels like that he can fix this. He gets to work. He zooms in on the cue drawing again. Along with the reporter, Jay Schlott, Monkey, and Baby Brent, they go into the heart of the food machine to fix this. There's like a big battle and everything. Meanwhile, everyone escapes on the island. There's a pile of food avalanches down and suffocating the dad. No worries.
Producing honey is not just a craft, it's actually an art. What we're doing here benefits everybody. When you're talking about a third of our diet that depends on honeybees for pollination, I mean, what could be bigger than that?
Have you ever spent hours online shopping for an item you want? ModeSense is here to help you save serious time and money. We partner with over 10,000 of the world's top fashion stores and brands, so you can shop all of them in one place. And the best thing is, for every single product, we compare price and availability for you, so you'll never overpay on the styles you love most. Ready to meet your digital shopping assistant? Learn more about ModeSense today.
He's okay, but when all hope is lost, like all hope, like it's all bad, Flint and his dad together, they save the day, along with Flint using his past failures. Oh, like learning from your mistakes, kinda. I get it. A lesson in everything. A failure made the solution smart, and with that, the day is saved. The day is saved. And while in certain ways, this may look like just another failure to Flint in some way, his dad comes to him and gives him the best speech ever, telling him how truly proud of him that he is. But the ones that make me the most upset are the lazy ones. The ones that are made for truck. The ones that are solely made for money. And they have absolutely no business using millions of dollars to create a dog turd. And this is where the Addams Family animated movie comes into play. The Addams Family animated movie, not the Addams Family movie, is by God one of the most boring, egregious uses of money I have ever seen. It is a movie feigning to be an adaptation of a beloved cultural iconic family. Everyone knows what the Addams Family movie is, even if you've never watched the movies. You have this wacky family that's not like normal families. They're all crazy, they all dress in dark colors, and you got a hand that
seriously mess up.
Just that's insane. He's got normal families who are all normal. They're like football, ale house, cars, and then you have the Addams Family, which is like tombstones, goth, IHOP, cement. They've been a fictional family that has existed for nearly a century at this point. Shows, movies, Party City costume for girls and boys, and now a very awful family movie, which is so upsetting. I still remember when this movie came out in 2019. There was icy ads at every single theater. And let me tell you, I had that charcoal black cherry icy. It made my poop green for 3 days, man. 3 days. This movie basically infested itself inside my body once I had that icy, making me spew literal bile from myself. But it's stuff like the icy ad that makes me look at this movie in a harsh light before I ever began to even watch it. It's this weird stench of corporate, the weird stench of money just illuminating from the very first trailer. It's all of these intense promotions with hundreds of products for this movie that made me instantly assume this is more about the brand than it is the story. The black cherry icy that made my poop green, the Hershey bars, the IHOP purple pancake stuff that looked like this in the pictures, but in reality looked like this. And then the very, very weird Minnesota lottery tickets? Okay, I'm sorry, but no matter how much everyone rags on Illumination for being money-centric, at least they don't have Minion lottery tickets. Like just imagine, little 5-year-old Timmy very interested in gambling at a young age because his animated character is on a scratch-off, and that entices him. That's really weird and bad to think about. Now, talking about Illumination, this movie was actually planned to be made by Illumination. In 2010, right as the first Despicable Me came out, Illumination was planning on making a stop-motion adaptation of the Addams Family. Stop motion! You know the animation technique that takes insane amounts of work and dedication that could lead to so much gorgeous creativity. That sounds absolutely perfect for the Addams Family aesthetic as a whole. How wonderful! But sadly, that just didn't happen, because what ended up happening was MGM took Addams Family and knocked out a low-budget garbage fire. I hate Illumination movies.
Hey, baby, it's Huggies. Oh, and everyone. We're all obsessed with...
Genuinely hate them. And yet, the Lorax from 2012 looks better than this thing. And I hate the look of the Lorax. I hate it so much. So what does that tell you? The Addams Family is a 2019 toilet day starring really great actors, amazing actors who give nothing because they are given nothing. They are given a script that is stuck in the decades the original TV show came out in.
We put the lime in the coconut and drink them both up.
Never in my life have I seen jokes so bland, so old, so from a different era.
We call this soaking the wet.
And here's the craziest thing. The Addams Family movies, like the good ones, like Addams Family Values, is insanely dry in humor, but it's still unbelievably good. The timing is impeccable almost every time, and it's genuinely hilarious.
Why do you hate the baby?
We don't hate him. We just want to play with him, especially his head.
Live-action movies, while they may have a somewhat overarching plot, are more or less just the Addams Family doing their vibey thing of wacky, dry, morbid jokes. Basically, they're just hangout movies. They're just hanging out in all the movies, but it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Here, this animated movie, in the realm of animation, does not take advantage of the fact that it's animated, and instead pushes to stretch its length out to barely make featured length. There is no point in this being an animated movie if the most you're gonna have for creativity is a couple characters staring at each other and talking. That's so boring. That's so boring for an animated movie. There's no life in this movie. There's no intentional dry humor when the writing is this mundane. This is just one of the most boring movies, coupled together with the most boring, awful-looking visuals. It's just painful. Let's talk about the designs of everyone. Everything. So, the Addams Family themselves, the biggest compliment I can give the designs of these characters is that they basically took the original comic strip from the 1930s and just put it in 3D mode. That's it. They're just 3D versions. At the utmost bare minimum, they are the 3D versions. They have no detail, no level of design here. It's so insanely normal and boring for a family that is supposed to be anything but. They all look like the concept versions before the final product, before the intricacies of the designs are actually set in motion. And then we have all the other characters, like the humans, who all look terrible. I have no idea why everyone in this movie is so insanely skinny or so fat. Everyone else is uglier than the Addams Family, which sounds like that's not supposed to be the case when we talk about the Addams Family. There's nearly nothing separating our main standout group from everyone except from the basic color schemes. And that goes the exact same with the environments. The main plot of this movie is like the Addams Family have their home. It's a creepy home that looks so insanely fine inside, no details of creepy or crazy or anything morbid, and then their home is next to this colorful plastic looking town, and that creates the conflict throughout the movie. And the main argument this movie could create about this plastic neighborhood is so boring and ugly because the Addams Family are the people with true creativity and beauty or whatever, but there's nothing detailed about the Addams Family to show that. They're as empty as the empty town. So either way, I don't care. Changing the colors of something is not a design. It's just not. Your humans looking like they're from the 2011 game Rabbids Go Home is probably not a good design for $1 million movie. But now let's finally dig into the plot. Let's do it together, both of us, diving into the non-existent plot. But it's not non-existent in a good way. It's not like these characters are hanging out and vibing. There are no vibes in this movie. No good vibes whatsoever. So in this movie, you have the setup of Gomez and Morticia needing to run away because they ran out of their hometown or whatever. A setup that feels insanely Hotel Transylvania. In fact, this entire movie is actually just a worse Hotel Transylvania. And Addams Family existed decades and decades before Hotel Transylvania, and yet this is worse than that, which just makes no sense, but I'll get into that later. You also have a starting song for the movie from Christina Aguilera that's supposed to be spooky themed, I guess, or more or less sounds like a jewelry commercial than anything Addams Family aesthetic wise. So Gomez and Morticia run to this house that they find, it's the Addams Family house. And we also meet Lurch and Thing, and throughout the movie you have Lurch playing the piano with Thing, and that's like the only thing he does in the movie. But at one point he plays What a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and it made me happy. But I'm not going to give credit to the movie for that. That's not something originally made that came out of this movie, and they didn't really use it in a good way. It's just a good song that was put here. This song that's from a different property entirely. Speaking of songs, when we get the opening credits, it has a very fast, really nice song that sounds like it would be so fun with a montage. But instead, the montage that we get is just a bunch of static shots. So then, years later, we have our kids, Wednesday and Pugsley. By now, you may have noticed just how bad the movements of the characters are. Not just the insanely low detail of textures or anything else, the genuine animation, the second-to-second movements are so absolutely awful, it's distracting. So we then see Wednesday, who is curious about the outside world, not just her house. She's the only character in this movie with a semi-story arc of any kind. Meanwhile, Pugsley and Gomez, they just do things. It's boring. We also see how there's a colorful town down the hill, a very, very ugly, bland town run by someone who is definitely not a Lorax villain. No, this is not a Lorax villain. So this Lorax villain woman gets word of the Addams Family and thinks that'll disrupt her perfect town, so she plans to get rid of them. But the plan kind of just shambles along for 30 minutes until she's like, okay, now I'm gonna get rid of them. Literally, when she first thinks of getting rid of them, she doesn't actually go through with it for another 30 minutes through the movie. Because instead, that conflict needs to disappear because the movie needs to make the runtime. Don't forget that. Soon, a lot more Addams Family families start to arrive, and that's when the conflict starts to get going, because then there's panic that arises that, oh, this family is here. Whoa! And then there's like a weird small fight that gets resolved super quick, and everything is fine and dandy again. And wait, that's the whole movie? Wait, that's the whole movie. No, seriously. That is the entire movie. That's it. That's all there is. There is nothing else notable to talk about for this feature-length movie. I just started talking about it, and I'm done. There's nothing else to talk about here. Isn't that depressing? Holy, that is the most depressing time I have ever talked about a plot for a movie. There are no character moments that are hilarious, sad, or anything. It's a movie that just shambles so hard until the end credits. End credits that also barely fit with any aesthetic throughout the whole movie.
Rainbow High will win Rainbow Vision because stars aren't made, they're born.
Tale about our superhero and the kids in question, George and Harold. My favorite stories, such as Captain Underpants and the preposterous plight of the purple potty people, or Captain Underpants and the wrath of the wicked wedgie woman, or my favorite one, Captain Underpants and the big bad battle of the Bionic Booger Boy, Part 2, The Revenge of the Ridiculous Robo Boogers. Those titles were incredible. This series and its titles were art for a juvenile boy. These were everything. These were peak comedy. Every page is barely a paragraph. Some chapters even famous for being the shortest in the book. Some chapters were flip books, leaving for you to flip the page back and forth to create the action. As a kid, can you just imagine this? Imagine being a 9-year-old boy. Imagine it, please. Just imagine going to school every day, bored out of your mind. Everything sucks. You live in Florida. You're too poor for video games. Everything is just raining because you live in Florida, but yet you can read this, a juvenile, art potty-filled humor classic series. Something that actually makes you genuinely laugh. Something that you feel is yours and only yours. You feel like these stories are made for you, your stupid childish humor. You feel like you're the kid in these stories. Changing letters from the school files and pranks and your annoying teachers. You feel like there isn't some mature, stupid theme, some greater life lesson. No, for once you're just a kid. These stories meant a lot to me creatively. So I was pleased as punch. Pleased as punch, I tell you, to hear they were making a movie for my favorite series. And the movie was a masterpiece. Out of every animated movie out there, praised by the world, Spider-Verse, Lego Movie, they're nothing. They're nothing in the eyes of Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. This movie is incredible. A special, rare movie no one talks about. It's cinema at its finest. Pure friendship, pure heroism. I love it. This movie is directed by the same director of Turbo, the guy that made the movie about the very fast snail. Ignore that part, though. I am being genuine when I see that Captain Underpants is incredible. Among a year of superhero films, when this came out, you had Wonder Woman, Logan, Thor, all those massive action movies. But this was my favorite superhero movie. This was exactly what the world needed, but it was not ready. I'm sure this movie made good money, but I don't think it was praised enough. It was not loved enough. This world did not deserve this movie when it came out. From the writing, to the directing, to the voice acting, to the style, everything about this movie plays into itself in the most true and authentic form. It just feels like it was literally ripped from the books and movies. The fart jokes, to the pants, giant frankfurters. This movie is so, and its audience, anyone with the slightest amount of juvenile humor can enjoy this movie. The intro kicks off with two main kids singing the DreamWorks song. How can you not love that? We all do that ourselves from time to time. And here it just feels insanely authentic. This immediately goes into a hand-drawn feeling comic sequence where the boys are playing who Captain Underpants is. This instantly pulls childhood fans into the world knowing that this is a faithful adaptation. There's no sense of corporate greed wanting to bank off a children's property. This feels like someone just wants to make a dope kids movie. We meet the principal, Principal Krupp. He rips up their book, and you instantly see these little nerds' friendship. Harold is sad about the comic book. George reassures him nicely and quickly.
I'm George Beale. This is my best friend, Harold Hudson. It's okay.
Their constant friendship energy is awesome. You also see little nods and Easter eggs to other Captain Underpants books in the air, which is really cute. These boys obviously don't like the principal, and everyone in life had their own kind of Krupp. That one old meanie superior who you just felt hated everything. Like, they just wanted the world gray and boring and drab. That's just how it is growing up through school. Krupp is angry at these boys for changing the school sign. He's so angry his hairpiece flies up and down with such charming animation. And you're already able to tell that this animation style is simply perfect. Everything in this movie is slightly uneven. Everything has a wobbly line. Nothing is perfect. Everything is very detailed and stands out. Mr. Krupp's office is cold and blue, with the only thing moving in the room being an old fan. Meanwhile, the boys' treehouse is full of life, like a colorful wonderland. The style this movie presents, and the movement, the details, the color schemes, everything is just way too perfect. But yet it's not. Nothing in this world is perfect, and that's what makes it perfect. Krupp wants to do something to stop these boys' antics.
Imagine a vacation with a perfect balance of we time and me time, where everyone can run off on their own adventures and come together to create memories that last a lifetime, where magic meets the sea.
But has no proof of anything they've ever done. You see a montage of everything they've done, including a 2D tiger, which is just perfect. That's a moment when doing something inherently less grand is way more funny than modeling a whole tiger and putting it in there. A 2D cardboard cutout is way funnier than having an actual animated tiger. I adore these kids' constant fourth wall breaks. They add to the humor, add to their friendship and charm of the movie. These boys have power over their own movie, and that's what you love about it. They tell about when they first met in class. We get a greatest joke.
The seventh planet from the sun is called.
They do it. They do that joke. That's like peak comedy right there. That's peak. I also love how they manipulate the flashback fourth wall breaks for their own amusement by safely grabbing each other but flicking the annoying kid out of frame. The boys have to go to school on a Saturday, which breaks their heart, leading for everything to be over the top. Intense heavy rain falls, trees lose leaves, people walk into school like a prison camp. This movie has a never-ending amount of imagination. At the school, there's an invention fair. Everyone is, of course, bored, so the boys save the day by sabotaging a toilet invention by this nerd. But this nerd has a backup plan for that. He has a turtle that watched them. A spy turtle, oh no! Krupp uses this info to threaten to separate them into different classes. And that's what's beautiful. These dudes' biggest fear in the whole movie is being in separate classes. How innocent is that? It's so small and wholesome. These boys get so sad over it that they create hypotheticals about losing their friendships with sock puppets. The creativity in this movie just never ends.
Within months, we'll be awkwardly bumping into each other at the mall. Hey, George.
Hey, do I know you?
These boys try to steal the turtle so they can be safe, but it turns out that Krupp kept it with him everywhere he went.
I carry him wherever I go.
Including the shower.
I love that the inanimate object is just given life. It's adorable. It doesn't need to make sense. It's just cute. Krupp is about to separate their classes, but they get so they save the turtle. The turtle's happy, which is